What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next we are going to go over the top 10 Golden Age comics I have in my collection. Stay tuned. Alright, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So the reason for this video is that Alan over at the Comic Collector Geek channel put out a video recently where he went over his top 10 Golden Age comics. He does kind of like, call them like challenge videos, something like that, and he will mention other channels that are out there and ask them to do the kind of like a response to that video. And so one of the channels that he mentioned in that video was mine. And so I have upgraded a number of my Golden Age books over the last about 6 to 8 months or so. So I thought it would be fun to do this kind of like response video. I had been kind of planning on doing a kind of like a caper list video eventually anyway. And so this will actually cover quite a few of those books. So this is my top 10 Golden Age books. This is based on value, going from like least expensive of those 10 to the most expensive. So yeah, let's get into these. Like I said, a lot of these are keeper books for me. 9 of the 10 of them are actually keeper books for me. So first one here, I had been trying to get this book. I mentioned this when I picked it up. I've been trying to get this book ever since I really kind of like got back into collecting about 4.5 years ago. My older brother had mentioned it to me, had pointed this one out to me, and kind of like joking at that time because it was so expensive. And but I was finally able to pick up a copy. So this is number 10. This is Startling Comics, number 49. What I think most people call the first appearance of Bender. This is the Bender cover. This is an Alex Schomburg airbrush cover. This is really the Alex Schomburg airbrush cover. He has some great airbrush covers for sure, but this is the biggest one that's out there, and one that I'd been looking for or looking to pick up a copy for a long time. And because I was a huge Futurama fan, I was a big Simpsons fan, and that kind of transferred into Futurama. And then Bender is just such a great and iconic character, and it was confirmed recently in an interview on Comic Collector Geek's channel that Bender was based on this character. You know, at least in some capacity, Bender was based on this character, that Matt Groening was a big fan of this book. And so I thought that was pretty cool to find out that that was actually confirmed, because I had not heard that. It was always kind of like rumored, and a lot of people said no, there wasn't any tie between it, but actually confirmed in an interview on his channel that that Matt Groening was a big fan of this book, and that Bender was at least partially based on this drawing, this character from Alex Schomburg. So awesome. So yeah, this is number 10, Startling Comics, number 49, 2.5, the Bender cover. All right, next one. Pre-code horror has definitely been getting more and more popular over the last couple years, and this is one of the most recognizable pre-code horror covers that is out there. This is number 9. This is the second copy of this I've had. This was an upgrade to a different copy that I had previously. This is Crime Suspense Stories, number 22. I bought this book raw, got it graded. I was a little disappointed with the grade that I got back on it, but still, I'm still happy with the book. I mean, it is a 5.0 of an iconic pre-code horror book done by Johnny Craig, and like the most famous cover done by Johnny Craig. Played a pretty significant role in the Senate hearings for the establishment, or what ultimately became the establishment of the Comics Code Authority. And yeah, I mean, very, very violent cover, especially for EC. A lot of the other publishers, like Harvey, kept just like ramping it up with the violence. And this was actually considered a toned down cover because they didn't show like the base of her neck here. You know, but I mean, still obviously an extremely violent cover. 5.0 is a very nice grade for this book. You can see the back there. It definitely has some tanning. That's one of the things that kind of like hurts it. But overall, a very solid presenting copy. Real nice wrap, great colors, all that kind of stuff. So, Crime Suspense Stories, number 22. Classic Johnny Craig cover, decapitation cover. Number 9 on my list. All right, so now for number 8. This is actually the book that's been on my keeper list now the second longest. There's one that's been on it a little bit longer, but I mean, as I'm upgrading books, I've talked about this before, like my keeper list, I always have to remove things if I'm adding a new book. And so a lot of times, like, books just, they cycle out as I upgrade things. And this one has been on my keeper list now for a little over a year and a half. And this is Detective Comics number 168. This is the first appearance of the Red Hood, the first origin of the Joker, because, spoiler, the Red Hood, at least this iteration of the Red Hood, was the Joker. So 1.8, but is a very, very nice presenting 1.8. Has like a split down here, and it's a detached cover, but amazing colors on this thing. It's not missing any pieces out of the back either. I mean, the back looks just as incredible in terms of presentation. And you'll notice this has this gold label here, and that is because it is from the Promise Collection pedigree. So yeah, this is one of my favorite books that I have in my collection. I love this cover. It's such a great cover where you have the Red Hood right on the front with Batman and Robin. It's a black cover as well. And like I said, even though it's a lower grade, you know, it's a 1.8, it is a fantastic presenting copy. I have considered cracking it out to have it pressed and, you know, resubmitted, just because even though it is a detached cover, it has a split, I think it could probably get a 2. You know, it's just like it has some wrinkling and things like that. You can see on the bottom there. I don't think this book was ever pressed. I think it was just sent right in. So it could potentially get a little bit better grade. But the big thing with this one is just the general presentation and the fact that it's that Promise Collection pedigree. That's what's really important, in addition to, you know, being the first appearance of the Red Hood with this book. But yeah, awesome book. Detective Comics number 168. First appearance of Red Hood, origin of the Joker. So that is number 8. All right, number 7 here. I consider this to be the best Red Skull cover. This is Captain America Comics number 74. And for me, the main thing with this one is that it's the Red Skull and he's front and center. He is the primary character on the cover, because most of the time when you've got the Red Skull, he is a secondary character, or he's just playing a role on the cover with a ton of other characters, whether that's Captain America or Bucky or, you know, whoever else. And he's one character on a very large, complex scene, because if you're used to or familiar with Alex Schomburg covers, because a lot of the Red Skull covers are Alex Schomburg, they're very busy. You know, there's a lot going on, but this one is much more focused, and it's, you know, you've got the Red Skull as the primary villain, and he's just extremely menacing on this cover. He's not cartoony or anything in any way, extremely menacing on the cover. You also do have Captain America on there too, which is great. And like the red cover, the overall, you know, kind of like red, simple, solid cover on the background, and a really great presenting copy. I mean, it's a 3.5, not a lot of like big creases or anything. There's some spine wear and all of that. I've had a couple people tell me I should try, you know, resubmitting it and see if it gets a better grade. It's possible. I mean, it is a really nice presenting copy. I just don't know if I feel like spending the the walkthrough pricing and then the risk of it coming back the same grade or a lower grade. You know, anything can happen, especially when you're, you know, repressing older books like this. But yeah, Captain America number 74. I just consider this the best Red Skull cover. And also something that I thought I'd show that's just really cool. I showed this in a prior video. This was something that a watcher of the channel sent me, and it was this recreation of it that he did. You know, like he drew this, you know, this recreation of that Captain America 74 cover. So yeah, you can see that down here, Captain America 74, July 4th, 1949. And yeah, I mean, when I got this, I was just blown away. I mean, such an incredible recreation of that cover. So that is number 7. All right, now for number 6. This is one of the most recent additions to my kind of like keeper list, or like a big new Golden Age book that I've added. And this is Phantom Lady number 17. This is the classic Matt Baker, Good Girl Art, bondage cover, all that kind of stuff. It is the most expensive Matt Baker cover that's out there. It is, in terms of desirability, it's really, I think it's between like this book and Seven Seas number 4. Those are probably the two most popular Matt Baker books that are out there. But 2.5, I mean, there's pen on the cover. I showed this book recently. You know, kind of call it either the tattoo variant with the tattoo on her leg, or the fish face copy. I guess the original owners, the kids that had this book, you know, they put their names all over the back, and they you know, filled out that coupon to send it to Fish Face. So, but still, like the colors are fantastic on this copy. It had a pretty big spine roll when I got it. I bought this book raw. It was the most expensive raw book I ever bought, so I was definitely nervous about this one, but sent this one off to the comic book presser, my presser, and he fixed the spine roll. Just looks incredible, like a great presenting copy. I mean, yeah, it's got the pen, but I mean, everything's there. No pieces missing, no big creases, and colors just really pop on this copy. So 2.5, Phantom Lady, number 17. This is number 6 on my Golden Age top 10. All right, now for number 5. This is a book that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to own a copy. I consider it to be the most historically significant cover of the Golden Age. This is Captain America Comics number 46. This is called the Holocaust cover. It's really the only comic book cover that depicted the Holocaust that I'm aware of. And so you've got Captain America and Bucky, jumping in to save these people that were in a concentration camp. I mean, it is an extremely graphic cover. You've got people that they are putting into furnaces, that are alive, that they're putting into these furnaces. I mean, a lot of these books, Marvel Mystery Comics, Captain America comics, they were created as propaganda. It was to obviously like villainize the enemy during World War II, show people what types of things are going on over there. And so just an extremely historically significant book. Captain America 46 and 2.5, like I said, just one that I didn't think I was going to have a chance to ever own a copy of this book. So very happy to have this one, and this is number 5 on my Golden Age top 10. All right. Now for number 4, this is the most recent pickup for me for my Golden, in this list in the top 10, and for my keeper list of comics. This is Punch Comics number 12. Showed this one recently. I did an unboxing during one of my live streams. I also showed this on my Instagram recently, but this is considered the skull cover. I mean, like, this is the skull cover from the Golden Age. There are plenty of great skull covers, but this is like the most iconic one. And you've got that black background, you've got just this huge, very detailed skull, and you've got this crime scene, kind of like this gun battle going on the cover. And it's because this wasn't really a pre-code horror book at this time period. I mean, this is 1945. Pre-code horror really started later. At least the big craze for it started later, a lot more into the 50s. And so this is much earlier, it's a crime cover, but I mean, just one of the most incredible covers that was done during the Golden Age. I mean, a 1.5, I am very happy with 1.5. I didn't know if I'd ever get a copy, let alone something that was like a blue label and, a 1.5 and a solid presenting copy. I mean, I know it's missing these like little pieces on the edges, but I said, and I've had other people comment on that as well. It's like, it actually looks pretty good with them, and because it doesn't touch the main art. And so it just, like with a book like this, having it kind of roughed up and everything looks pretty nice. So back cover looks, is pretty standard, back cover for a comic, but actually in pretty decent condition. And but yeah, front cover, just awesome. Really happy to be able to have picked up a copy of this, added it. I picked it up during that Comic Connect auction while we were live streaming. I was bidding on this one, and was very happy to be able to come home with it. So Punch Comics number 12. This is number 4 on my top 10 Golden Age comics. All right, number 3. Another one that ever since I first saw it, I had wanted to try and get a copy of this book. Definitely ended up with a nicer grade than I thought I would have gotten for this one. It is a very nice presenting copy. This is All Select Comics number 1 in a 5.0. Amazing colors on this copy. This is what I would consider the comic for the big 3. So the big 3 are Captain America, Human Torch, and Submariner. Those are the major heroes from Timely during the Golden Age, and Timely is what eventually became Marvel. And so this is an Alex Schomburg cover. It is a World War II cover. You know, the big three there attacking Hitler's Berchtesgaden, and I mean, just a incredible cover. And Alex Schomburg was known for doing this. He often made the heroes on the cover these like larger than life characters. And so you can see they're basically like the size of this castle, of this fortress, and coming in and, you know, just destroying everything, wrecking it all up. So a lot of times you get that with Submariner. On a lot of the covers, you have this larger-than-life Submariner, but not always the Human Torch and Captain America. So just, yeah, incredible cover, incredible comic. Very happy to have picked it up. It's a back cover. But yeah, this is number 3 on my top 10 Golden Age comics. All right, now for the top 2, which, oddly enough, are actually both restored books. And it's just because these are such huge books regardless. I mean, I'm happy to have anything with them, and definitely when you're talking about Golden Age, there's a lot less stigma around like restoration, conservation, that kind of thing. So number 2, this is Detective Comics number 38, 8.0 restored, A3 restoration, includes color touch, pieces added, tear seals, cleaned and reinforced. But this is the first appearance of Robin. And I mean, he is right on the cover, iconic, classic cover for that character. And it's pretty cool if you've seen the interior splash page is almost identical to the cover. It's also Robin jumping through this same, you know, kind of like hoop thing. But another book that in any type of condition, restored or not, I did not think that I would end up being able to own a copy of this one, let alone something that looks this incredible. Here's the back cover of that, if you want to see the back cover. But yeah, I mean, just an amazing book. I mean, first appearance of Robin, Detective Comics number 38. I mean, this is before Batman number 1, because Batman number 1 has both Batman and Robin on the cover. And so this is pre-Batman number 1. This is 1940. And yeah, iconic first appearance of a major character in the DC universe. All right, so if that's my number 2, what is my number 1? So number 1 in my top 10 Golden Age comics is Marvel Mystery Comics number 9. Again, a restored book, a 7.5 A4 restoration. And this is considered one of the grails for Alex Schomburg. This Human Torch Submariner battle cover. It is the second ever Submariner cover. You can see classic cover. And again, this is where Alex Schomburg draws these characters larger than life. You've got these two fighting on the screen, just kind of like wreaking havoc. And but this is it's like called kind of like the Fire and Water cover, and it's because you've got Submariner and Human Torch. But this is a extremely difficult book. It is one of the more scarce books in the Marvel Mystery Comics run. I think a 7.5 is the second highest restored copy, something like that. It is, I mean, so this is a stunning copy of this book. I mean, yeah, it's been restored and all that, but it is still Marvel Mystery Comics number 9, not a book you see come up for sale very often in any condition, whether it's restored or universal. Here's the back cover here. But yeah, this is number 1 of my top 10 Golden Age comics. Marvel Mystery Comics number 9, 7.5, restored, classic Alex Schomburg, Human Torch versus Submariner battle cover. So those are my top 10 Golden Age comics. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to go check out Comic Collector Geek's channel for his top 10. He has incredible books as well. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. If you enjoyed this video, I've got more videos over here. If you'd like to watch some of my other videos, subscription button is right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.